What's up, Taiwan? How's it going? I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is pressing ahead with plans to reopen its borders. That's despite rising COVID cases. As the country moved towards a new Living with COVID strategy, the government has also announced plans to roll back the amount of money it's providing for the Centers for Disease Control. But the new budget is not without controversy. Ryan Kilpatrick reports.
A nation in transition, Taiwan is moving ahead with its policy shift to living with COVID, reopening borders later this month and trimming down the budget for the Centers for Disease Control. But the road back to normal continues to be bumpy, with members of the opposition Kuomintang lambasting the government for what, on paper, is the CDC's highest ever budget at 84.5 billion Taiwan dollars. That's the equivalent of nearly 2.7 billion US dollars. But the ruling Democratic Progressive Party says this is a deliberate distortion. The budget is actually around 1 billion less than last year. The only difference is it's now part of the regular annual budget, rather than a separate special budget like the past few years.
明年没有特别预算，所以845亿编在年度预算里边。国民党自己参与审查预算，应该清清楚楚，不要指鹿为马。
COVID-19 cases are still on the rise in Taiwan, reaching a new all-time high of nearly 55,000 on October 5th. But the country's health authorities say this has not deterred them from a much-awaited reopening of the borders after some 2.5 years of isolation from the rest of the world.
不排除这个礼拜会是这个高峰，但是整体而言，就是它还是属于在高原期这边波动哦。那对于这个目前就是有关10月13号要边境开放的部分，目前还没有要改变。
But health authorities also insist they're not letting their guard down when it comes to COVID. 400,000 new doses of the antiviral pill Paxlovid are due to arrive at the end of the week, and the rollout of the second-generation Moderna vaccine has progressed to stage 2, open to over 50s as well as medical and aviation workers.
大家不要误以为说边境解封就是疫情就结束了，所以什么都不用再做任何的管制，不是这个样子。
As Taiwan continues to plot its post-pandemic course, officials hope to reassure people that the time has come to learn to live with COVID. Ryan Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's allies are speaking up for the country at the United Nations. 10 countries with diplomatic relations with Taiwan have sent a letter to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. They're calling on him to take immediate action to address Taiwan's exclusion from the global body. Taiwan has trouble participating in UN agencies because of pressure from China. Beijing claims Taiwan and says it speaks for its people despite not ruling the country. On the same day, ally nations Belize, Eswatini, and Tuvalu also spoke out at a meeting of the UN Civil Aviation Body in Montreal, Canada. They say Taiwan, which wasn't invited to the meeting, should also be allowed to participate in the International Civil Aviation Organization because, quote, no country should be left behind. Taiwan's military orchestra and honor guard have wrapped up their final rehearsal for the National Day celebrations. The parade is all about precision, and as Rick Laut reports, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Pomp and pageantry is, of course, a key part of Taiwan's National Day Parade. The military's national band and elite honor guard have been practicing their music and rifle spinning skills for 5 months. Every note and every movement must be executed with precision when they march in front of the presidential office on October 10th.
第一次集体左手转枪，这是不管资深或是之前的人员都需要在特别花时间去熟练的部分。
不会紧张，因为我们训练都是非常的完善，然后整个过程其实都是非常的严谨的。
The honor guard is a special part of Taiwan's military, protecting key buildings and personnel and performing in national ceremonies. There are strict criteria for entry. Soldiers must be between 178 and 190 centimeters tall, weighing between 65 and 80 kilograms, and have what's called a dignified appearance with an approved face shape. They are trained to stand perfectly still for 50 minutes at a time.
每一次的操演，我们都把它当作是正式的动作再去操演，没有任何特别，只有一个标准，一个动作，
This year's National Day celebrations are taking place at a time of heightened tensions with China, and come just months after Beijing launched unprecedented live fire drills around Taiwan in response to a visit from US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Taiwan's National Day parade is a chance for the country to showcase its military might, and this year to champion its culture and define its geopolitical position. The display being perfected here today is not just about putting on a good performance. It's a chance to show the rigour and discipline of the armed forces and an opportunity to reassure the public that Taiwan can stand up to China's increasing threat. Damon Lin and Rick Lowett in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
With less than 2 months to go before Taiwan's local elections, candidates in northern cities and counties are combining their efforts. Erika Liu has details.
Hitting the campaign trail together. Candidates from the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, are pooling their efforts for local elections in key northern areas, which include the country's capital and its most populous city. The DPP hopefuls have signed a joint statement on how the neighboring local governments can work together to improve transportation, environmental, and economic ties.
基北北桃有许多的事务是必须要共同处理，人员的流动、企业的往来，其实是密不可分的。
北北基桃先来做一个示范，来做一个我们区域联合治理的机制，上可以跟中央连接在一起，下可以跟地方来做对话。
Candidates from the main opposition Kuomintang, or KMT, are also stumping together in the same region. They're gearing up for a joint policy presentation in November.
所以我已经跟所有的北北基桃宜的所有的候选人也好，相同的理念也好，大家一起努力，让北台湾更好。
请问候选人共同就区域治理以及跨县市的合作，来好好的沟通、密切的讨论。
It's not just the major parties that are consolidating their supporters. Independent and smaller party candidates are also looking to integrate their campaigns.
争取任何可能的支持的力量。那我们不是要去整合，把他们消灭，没有，我们就是希望能够争取，而不是整合。
Taiwanese will head to the polls on November 26th in local elections widely seen as a referendum on the ruling party's domestic policies. The DPP has won the past 2 national elections on a platform of promoting Taiwanese identity and keeping an arm's length from China. But it stumbled at the previous local elections in 2018 when its domestic agenda came to the fore. The results from the key capital region this year will show how far the party has come and will set the stage for 2024's presidential election. Rick E. and Erika Liu for TaiwanPlus.
Worms eating plastic? Researchers have found a possible breakthrough in the fight against pollution, an enzyme that enables waxworms to break down polyethylene plastic with their saliva at room temperature. In 2017, a scientist in Spain found the insects, which are the larvae of the wax moth, could break down plastic bags with their saliva, but she didn't know how they did it. She and a colleague at the University of Cambridge have now found the enzyme responsible. Plastics are useful for packaging because they are durable, but that's what also makes them hard to dispose of without using high temperatures. The discovery could be huge in helping to combat plastic waste.
Probably we are not going to create facility with billions of larvae. Ideally, after discovering the enzymes, perhaps we can express these enzymes in vector like E. coli of yeast, and then use these in a more biotechnological way.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of Spain's biannual Human Towers competition. Some 11,000 spectators packed into the Tarraco Arena bullring to watch the Catalan tradition. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.